Are you crazy? Or are you just mad?
Hello. Welcome to the Mad Musicians Against Depression podcast, where we discuss the latest news, research and hot topics surrounding mental health. I'm Thomas Maher, and I'm joined in studio by my beautiful co-host, award-winning singer, songwriter and presenter, Indiraa. Indiraa.
I'm endearing myself to you, am I?
You are, very much so. Welcome back again for another session of the Mad Podcast.
I know this is the highlight of my week. I can't tell you, honestly.
You can't tell me. It's my pleasure to know that.
Okay, then I'm telling you.
Good.
Are we done? Okay, can we get on with this now?
Yeah. What's the rush? Throw down.
I'm going to get my nails done today and my hair.
Your toenails?
No.
You're going to the vets? What time are you going to the vets? Sorry. So listen, you just come back from France. You've just been away handbagging and shoe shopping and
what nonsense.
Admiring cars.
Yeah, I've been to Monte Carlo. Yeah, that's right. Monte Carlo. Yeah. Very low cars there.
Low cars and high prices.
This one, exactly.
Yeah, so we were there for a tennis tournament, weren't you?
Oh, it was really good fun though, honestly.
Yeah,
really good
enjoyed it.
You come out of the hotel and all you hear is that's all you hear, and then you see these things flash by you. Mind you, I did think of you because we saw...
Flashing, that reminded you?
No. We saw a Lamborghini, and it was the colour of the flag, the Italian flag, and I was just thinking it little orange, and it would have been the Irish flag.
Uh-huh.
The car was painted like a flag. Quite interesting.
So what would we have called it then? Wasn't it? Lamborghini?
Lamborghini. Yeah, Lamborghinis are cute.
No, we'll stick with the Guinness, the 4-wheel drive Guinness. So, anyways, good. And we had, before we start our research today, we obviously had our mental health awareness gig, obviously, a couple of weeks ago.
That was fantastic.
In the Mitre and Barn. It was absolutely awesome, wasn't it?
Oh my God,
fantastic
it was amazing.
Turnout. It was really, really good. Really good. And I celebrated my 50th birthday as well.
Know.
Yeah,
You're still a little baby, aren't you?
I am.
Oh, we like him. He's cute. We keep this one.
It's all happening, isn't it? And you're away tomorrow as well. You're going to Lourdes.
I'm going to Lourdes. I need a little help from my friends, lady. So Mother Mary, who appeared in Lourdes, and my sister's Catholic, so she wants to do this pilgrimage, and 2 other sisters joining her, myself and another one, and we're off. And of course your friend Paul, whose car was stolen yesterday. Last night, wasn't it? So maybe his trip to Lourdes is probably at this point more poignant. Don't know about that.
He's hoping for a miracle.
Mind you, Chelsea won a match yesterday, so he doesn't need to pray to exactly.
Okay, so anyway, let's get on with it. So today I have in my hand my phone, and I'm going to read you today's article. And the headline is, Hallucinogen found in magic mushrooms can reduce depression, a study finds.
I knew you'd come up with something like that.
Yes, and if anyone you don't know, it's the ingredient is called psilocybin. It's getting a lot of traction on the news the last couple of years, but so this is what it's about. So okay, a new study found after just 1 dose and a trip, you get a trip as well, which was clinically supervised, around a third of patients who also received psychological support were in remission. Very good. A single dose of hallucinogenic chemical found in magic mushrooms can dramatically reduce symptoms of intractable depression, according to the largest ever study of its kind. Around a third of patients given a 25 mg dose of a synthetic form of psilocybin along with psychological support were in remission 3 weeks later. Are you impressed that I can say psilocybin? I'm saying this word so often over the many years, it's just like...
It sounds like suicidal for me. It really bothers me.
Psilocybin?
Yeah.
Well, this is supposed to prevent you from being suicidal.
But what can I say?
Oh no, that's not good.
No, I know.
So we call it Silly Simon.
Yeah, let's just do that. Silly Simon.
Silly Simon, okay, so Silly Simon. Okay. All had failed to respond to traditional antidepressant treatments, so they were treatment-resistant patients.
That's me.
Yeah. In the international trial, 233 patients were allocated to one of 3 different doses of a manufactured psilocybin called Comp 360. They also had support from a therapist to prepare them for the 6 to 8 hour, Mary and Joseph, 6 to 8 hour hallucinogenic trip, which was clinically supervised. That's a long trip, isn't it?
No, that's the bit I'm scared about, trying these sort of things is that the whole...
Well, wait for the end, see what the researchers say, see what
okay.
Nothing about it. Why? Have you ever been on a bad trip?
I've never been on... the only trips I know are holidays. I don't trip any other way.
So think of it as a road trip going somewhere nice, back to Monte Carlo,
okay.
And then you get all the handbags and the cars and all the things you saw there. For free.
What's with the handbags? I mean, the handbags are empty once you buy the car.
Exactly. Sell the handbags to get the car. Okay, a further session after drug treatment cemented the experience. What cemented it? Results published in the New England Journal of Medicine showed that patients receiving 25 mg of psilocybin, the highest dose in the study, had the greatest response. So obviously 25 mg is the marker here for response, with a significant reduction in the severity of symptoms within a day of treatment. Now, that's really important. They're talking about within a day of treatment. Most antidepressants take 10 days to 2 weeks just to start kicking in and getting some response for it. This is happening within 1 day.
Yeah.
So that's what these new generation of antidepressants are really, really coming to the forefront with, is that rapid response, rapid treatment. So, so had a greatest response with a significant reduction in severity of symptoms within a day of treatment. There was still a clinical effect 12 weeks after the trip. Wow. Now that's huge. So one single dose working within 24 hours is lasting 12 weeks, 3 months.
3 months.
So who wouldn't mind going on one trip to be happy for 3 months afterwards and then getting your next trip?
It's just a 6-hour trip then.
Yeah, but it's not bad. It can be a very positive trip. Usually these things are. And obviously these are very minor doses. They're small doses of psilocybin. I think once they actually refine this, they're going to take the
edge off of it.
Well, they're going to take the psychoactive ingredient out of it. They'll obviously poach that, remove that, so you want to have the negative side of it. It was a bit like ketamine when it first came out, the psychoactive part of it. So, and this was not statistically significant. Wow. The manufacturers of the drug, Compass Pathways, will start a larger trial by the end of the year to confirm the durability of the effect and more precisely assess adverse reactions. More than 7 out of 10 patients in the current study reported side effects such as nausea, dizziness and fatigue. Okay, that's usual. Professor Guy Goodwin, Chief Medical Officer of the company and Emeritus Professor of Psychiatry at the University of Oxford, said, "We saw positive results in a particularly difficult to treat group of patients, and the highest dose had the greatest impact on people's depression. This suggests that Compass 360 psilocybin has a true pharmacological effect, a finding that are critical for it to be recognised as a new treatment option in the future." Rewiring the brain. Scientists believe psilocybin rewires the brains of people locked into patterns of negative thinking and depression.
Yeah, that sounds like me.
Yeah, and that's a lot of people like that. So this is going to be a game changer. It's a completely different mechanism of action to traditional antidepressants, which alter levels of the neurotransmitter serotonin in the brain. Professor Anthony Clear, Professor of Psychopharmacology at the King's College London, who wasn't involved in the study, said the results were encouraging, but more research was needed before psilocybin could be used in normal clinical practice. He said the effects did start to wear off by 3 months. Okay, wow, 3 months. And we need to know how best to prevent the depression returning. We'll just take another 25 mg, right?
Yeah.
This might involve adding in other treatments such as psychological therapies or repeating the psilocybin treatment periodically. I think that's what I'd be doing. There's also concern that because of the relatively small number of patients studied so far, we don't yet know enough about potential side effects, particularly whether some people may experience a worsening of some symptoms. Nadav Lim Modin, a therapist in the study and specialist in psychedelic psychotherapy at King's College London, said patients given psilocybin enter a dreamlike state that allows them insight to their situation. Cool. Sounds good to me. He said to be able to sit with patients who sometimes for decades felt the burdens of despair, trauma, shame, guilt, powerlessness and ruminated over what is wrong with them, and then get to a place where they have a bit more flexibility in thinking. And that entails feelings of self-acceptance and self-compassion. It's always quite moving. Compass Pathways says it has to manufacture a synthetic form of the psilocybin rather than use an extract of magic mushrooms to satisfy the requirements of medical regulators. This sounds amazing. And again, it goes back to removing that psychoactive part of the treatment, which causes maybe the negative side effects. The more the
massive tripping.
The highest, exactly, the highest sort of negative treatment. Once they do that, it's going to be this
game
sounds
changer for sure. Yeah,
this sounds to me like a real game changer down the line. And I'll tell you what, I'll be one of the first people to take 25 mg when it comes out. 100%.
Yeah. Now, see, that's a double for me. I'm the other side of the coin, because I'm so wary of the hallucinations. Really frighten me.
Have you ever had hallucinations?
Well, yeah, I have with certain medication I'm on. I even last night I was telling you I was feeling very unwell. Mm-hmm. I hallucinate when I take certain medication.
So you're pine-proven. You're already having hallucinations. So why be afraid of?
No, but I tell you, I'm not good with that. The first time I had a hallucination, this is really weird. I was in the old days when I was 27 and I went in for emergency surgery from a growth in my thyroid gland. And the minute they put the pre-med in me, I punched the male nurse so hard. Wow. This guy, as they put the sides up of the stretcher, I got up and I punched him, and he fell into the elevator.
Wow.
I was so terrified with the hallucinations.
Wow.
I got up, punched his lights out. He was this huge guy as well. Bless him. Hope he's all right.
You weren't hallucinating, were you? Did it happen?
It happened.
Oh, Lord.
Unfortunately, because they had to have 4 nurses hold me down after.
Good God, you sound like Superwoman. Did you get all the strength from it?
I tell you what, from a pre-med. Imagine if they...
From a pre-med, yeah, wow.
And was supposed to put me out that too.
I think you put him out. Deary me.
Didn't work.
Okay. So as usual, folks, all the links to all the topics we're discussing now will be included in the show notes, so you can go look at it for yourself and decide for yourself, and you can have a look at psilocybin, otherwise known as psilocybin. Okay, so Indiraa, on to you. You've got a very, very interesting topic you found yourself.
I've got an interesting topic of yesteryears for me called Menopause May Not Impact Mental Health. Now, I'm not sure about this one, but I am sure, actually. It is an interesting study, because when I read it, I thought, okay, a lot of it, we do exaggerate a lot about the problems at times because we can't handle it. So here's an interesting one.
It's also an association. People put it down to, menopause, it's got to be that, it's got to be that. So
well, the thing is, you may be, exactly, you may be prone to it anyway. So here, a summary. A comprehensive review challenges the long-held belief that menopause directly causes psychological distress and mental health conditions in all women. This study finds no universal link between menopause and an increased risk of depression, anxiety, bipolar disorder, and psychosis. They haven't met me. However, it identifies factors that heighten the risk of depression symptoms during menopause, such as previous depression episodes, sleep disruption, and hot flushes, and concurrent stressful life events. Here you see it could be wrong cause, wrong effect. This research underscores the importance of not automatically attributing mental health symptoms to menopause, advocating that the more nuanced approach of diagnosis and treatment. So, like I said, wrong cause, wrong effect.
Indeed.
Key facts. The review finds no evidence that menopause universally increases the risk of major mental health conditions. Secondly, individuals with a history of depression, severe sleep disturbances, and concurrent stressful events are more likely to experience depression symptoms during menopause. The study calls for a careful assessment of mental health symptoms during menopause, considering individual history and current situations rather than attributing them to directly the cause of menopausal transition. See, during menopause, I personally feel that a lot changes. Your body changes, your sex drive changes, and chances are sometimes, you're in that midlife thing where your husbands have got the midlife crisis. Fortunately, mine didn't. And they leave you, and those become the things that are causing all the anxiety. It's not actually...
Well, of course.
The menopause. So if you're prone to it, like I'm prone to depression, it just became magnified when...
Of course.
When I started, finding everything was getting
on top.
Yeah.
And it was a key thing I just said there in that research is that people who have a history of suffering from depression already have an underlying you're prone to it, put it that way. Yeah, of course, and it is going to be exacerbated by menopause. How could it not be? If you're already feeling down and the symptoms of menopause, which are completely separate to it, are going to bring it on even further, it's going to worsen your depression.
Yeah, exactly.
It's logical.
And it's the whole thing. Your body is changing, and it's a difficult one because I think it's like depression. I told my husband the other day, I said, the only person who'll understand depression is someone who has it.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
And so, and so I said, so if you don't have it, you don't get it. You don't understand. And because he's, never been prone to any form of depression. And so it's, anyway.
And even to just even go further than that, there's even a difference between depression and severe depression.
Absolutely. I mean,
major depression, there's a difference between even that. Again, it's a different experience. Like that is a dark
when
experience.
When you hit rock bottom, it's like the only way is up.
Yes, exactly. And
you can't. Otherwise, there is no way out.
It's that black dog, dark hole.
It's horrible. Anyway, the new review paper from authors at Brigham and Women's Hospital and collaborators concludes that menopause does not uniformly elevate the risk of depression and other mental health conditions. Menopause has long been thought to cause psychological distress, but a new review suggests that it's not always the case. A review written by experts in Brigham Women's Hospital, a founding member of the Mass General Brigham Healthcare System, wow, that's a mouthful, and international collaborators, is the third in the series of menopause-themed papers published in The Lancet. Authors did not find evidence of menopause universally caused any risk of mental health conditions, including depression, major depressive disorders, anxiety, bipolar disorder. They haven't met my sister. And psychosis across
and Maher didn't want to.
Women. So, however, researchers did find that certain groups are more at risk of mental health during menopause. Individuals were more likely to report depressive symptoms if they had previously experienced depression. In their sleep was severe disturbances by nocturnal hot flushes, or if they had a stressful life condition, it was concurrently getting worse during a menopause. So like they've said earlier and earlier, they seem to be repeating that a bit. As well as creating negative expectations of people approaching menopause, the potential misattribution to psychological distress and psychiatric disorders to menopause could harm women by delaying accurate diagnosis and treatment. Researchers say, so you may be prone to depression anyway, and you're attributing it to menopause, and you're not actually treating the cause.
That's what we were saying, yeah.
Yeah. The take-home message for women and their clinicians is, you shouldn't assume that if someone has mental health symptoms during the menopause transition, that those two things are related, says co-senior author Hayden Jeff, MD, MSc, that's all. Yeah. And chair of the Department of Psychiatry and executive director of... We don't want to invalidate the fact that some people will experience mental health symptoms during menopausal transition, but it's not guaranteed. Menopausal transition, the time of individual begins to have hormonal and menstrual changes up in their final menstrual cycle, can last 4 to 10 years and begins at the age of 47 on an average. Mine was much before that. Though menopause is often thought of an emotional, taxing hormonal fluctuations, this time of life also coincides with substantial midlife crisis stresses and life events such as relationship and job changes, as I was saying earlier, which makes it difficult to tease apart the relative contribution of these factors. To investigate whether there is an association between menopausal transition and mental health conditions, the researchers reviewed previous studies that took incidence of depressive symptoms, major depressive disorders, anxiety, bipolar disorders, and psychosis during menopause. They placed higher weight on prospective studies that examined mental health pre-menopause as well as during the transition, including several studies that were conducted. They found that the studies showed that the association between the incidence of depressive symptoms and menopause, more severe clinical depression during menopause, only occurred with individuals who has diagnosis with the condition, as they've said over and over and over. If you've never had major depression before, you're extremely unlikely, at last, to have a first episode of clinical depression during menopause.
There we go.
At last they came up with it. Depressive symptoms are more frequently observed in individuals and experience a long-term menopausal transition. Individuals who suffered from severe interrupted sleep during the nocturnal hot flushes, and individuals who experience stressful life events in the 6 months prior to being assessed. We're going back on the same thing here. The researchers from evidence risk, anxiety, bipolar disorders, psychosis, universally elevated during menopausal transition. That's it, really.
Yeah, so that's a very interesting. That's a very interesting article, because I think now, obviously, a lot of people would attribute depression with menopause, and like you say, if you do that, you're not treating one or the other or both indifferently.
The thing is, if you're treating, a lot of friends of mine did a lot of hormone replacement stuff,
HRT.
and HRT, and many of them did get ill with it. I mean, and I know quite a few who got cancer, but the ones who have done HRT, and I have to bring this to everyone's notice, as I noticed that they all told me the same thing, that it didn't help them at all. So whether it's just I met the wrong people or what, all I know is that whoever went through HRT didn't seem to have any differences in their mood swings or anything, the hot flushes. That at most the physiological, changes were a little bit better, but I don't think psychologically. So there is a lot to be said about this article.
That's interesting. So for any of you ladies listening to the show, want obviously make a comment, whether you're listening on YouTube or anywhere where you can make comments, we'd be interested to see what comments, if you had experience of using HRT during your menopause, what experience you've had. So please, I'll share your views, your comments on that. So that is very interesting.
Yeah, but I never did any HRT or anything, just struggled through it. So I would be interested to know.
Yeah, very interesting.
But,
so that was good. Okay, so back to talk about the Mad 2024 album that was released on the 31st of March 2024. We have great response from that. We're getting some great radio play all over. We're getting UK, Europe, and some stations in America have picked up, and then we're getting some great traction on that. The album's doing really good. It's on Spotify, it's on Amazon, it's on all the usual places you can listen to it. We've got 3 songs left on the album to play over the next three weeks, and we're going to play one now, which is a recording by our in-house mental health awareness band, Hot Topic, and it's a cover of obviously a well-known song, so Give Me Some Lovin'. Many people will know the original, but this is our very own one that we've done here and produced by myself, of course. All the Hot Topic songs are, and actually,
and very well produced they are too.
Thank you, and indeed the whole album is produced and engineered by myself. But
is my chicken in the post?
Your chicken, yeah, you've got chicken in the post.
Not chicken in the post, chicken. Oh, I made some very good chicken.
Are you going to check in on the chicken?
I'll check in on the chicken.
Yeah. So this song is called Give Me Some Lovin' by Hot Topic, and the lead singer on this is a great singer called Rob Cohen. Hope you enjoy this track. Wow, what do you think of that?
I love it.
Great track, isn't it? Well, one of the best ones on it, actually. Of course, In-House, one of our favourites we done from Hot Topic. It was such a vibey track that we did at the time. What can I say?
What can I say? You're so good.
I'm just brilliant, so I am.
You are, aren't you?
Just give me some
Why
love.
do you always do the cute thing when you look up and say, give me loving, all that stuff? I
But
just
I'm
feel
cute.
like...
I keep telling you how cute I am. You tell me I'm cute, and then you ask me why I reciprocate
you are
your comments.
cute, and you're like a koala bear, and that's cool. But that skull over there made of bolts and nuts is really scaring the out of me.
Which one? The one looking at you?
Oh God, I hate that. It's so scary. I mean,
he's
what
lovely.
the hell? No, he's not. He's really not.
No, he is. He's the last guy that insulted me in the studio.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah, he is,
Okay,
yeah. So I'm just remembering.
Mine are all out in the dung heap on the farm.
I know they are. I've heard about that. You won't go into that.
All my exes as well.
Yeah, well, your exes have got, that's why you got 42 acres. Right. Okay. So that again, just quickly mention that's the Mad 2024. Various artists' album. Obviously, it's out there now. It's everywhere. It's like a virus. So please do go on not Netflix. Netflix? Yeah, maybe Netflix sometime. Spotify, YouTube, there are a lot. It's there. Have a listen, enjoy it, okay? So I've got another research document here.
Why do you always go first? Why can't I go first?
Go fast.
First.
You want to go first?
Nah,
No.
it's okay.
Okay, yeah. Behave yourself. Right, here we go. This one is from an article from Psychology Today, and the headline is The Detrimental Impact of Sleep Loss on Emotional Well-Being. I certainly have been an insomniac, know all about that. So let's see what other people have to say about it. Research supports the adverse impact that sleep loss has on well-being. Right, here we go. In a world where sleep loss and the inevitable fatigue that accompanies it are often taught as a givens. A monkey givens. No, just a givens. A study published by the American Psychological Association suggests that we may want to reconsider that fatalistic mindset. An analysis of 154 sleep deprivation studies conducted over a 50-year period, across 28 countries revealed that sleep loss doesn't just make us feel tired. It adversely impacts a host of other critical functions, including our emotional responsiveness, mood, and anxiety levels, thereby making us more vulnerable to psychological distress and disorders. Well, that's absolutely 100% true. Described as the largest, most comprehensive analysis of experimental sleep and emotions research to date by the study's lead author, Cara Palmer. Now, Cara is easy for me because it's an Irish. Cara, it's Irish. She warns that the results provide strong evidence that all types of sleep interference, do you hear that, includes having dogs in the bed and sleeping with people who snore.
I can't sleep without them. They're all furry and cute and cuddly.
No, well, then don't complain about it, okay?
Who's complaining? I'm not complaining.
You have in the past.
Okay.
I didn't sleep last night because dogs were in the bed and they were snoring.
No, that was my husband in the bed that was snoring.
And is he big and hairy as well, is he? All right. She warns that results provide strong evidence that all types of sleep interference, including extended periods of wakefulness, sleep deprivation, loss of just a few hours of sleep, sleep reduction, and intermittent nighttime awakenings, sleep fragmentation, have a detrimental impact on our overall physical and mental well-being. Did you know that they used to use sleep deprivation as a means to treating depression?
What?
Yeah, back in the old days.
Sleep deprivation is used on prisoners and stuff to make
torture.
Yeah.
But it was also used as a mechanism for treating major depression. I know that because when I saw the psychiatrist in 2012, I know my first bout of major depression, he told me that because when I was on lofpramine, which is antidepressant, I couldn't sleep. I was like Universal Soldier. I was switched on all the time. I couldn't sleep, and I think I went 7 weeks without sleep, just resting at night. I could not sleep. I couldn't shut my brain down.
Oh God, I know. I've been there.
When I told him about it, he said, "Yeah, some people do get that as a side effect of the drug." He said, but in the old days, they used to treat, when they didn't have medication, they used to treat major depression with sleep deprivation. And I could see why, because actually it makes you feel very heightened and in an alert state. and it elevates you
I
beyond
get
the
that,
depressive state into a more heightened awakening state. So,
but I think
horrible.
Antidepressants these days are pretty good because they release the serotonin at the right time, melatonin at the right time.
Different mechanisms. SRI medication. These I'm talking about. And these are different medications. The lofpramine is different. That switches you on. You're switched on all the time.
Oh God!
It's a different mechanism. So yeah, it worked for me at the time, but then eventually, it had a usefulness to begin with. Got me out of that major depressive state. But then I just couldn't sleep, so I felt like I was going to go back into depression again because I couldn't sleep, so we had to change over. So anyway, that's just the story. Okay, so studies found that sleep loss is a universal phenomenon. Bosch et al. 2014. Okay, so what are all these dates and numbers? Okay, Palmer's and colleagues' findings have clear physical, mental and public safety implications for a large segment of the worldwide population, especially for teenagers and those working in professions particularly vulnerable to sleep loss, such as emergency personnel, night shift workers and truck drivers. I thought that was Kentucky drivers. And truck drivers. However, as a Psychology Today blogger who writes primarily about women and stress, I was particularly interested in the author's a priori hypothesis that sleep loss would have more of an impact on emotional outcomes for females and their ultimate discovery of stronger effect sizes for samples that included a higher percentage of women, particularly the finding of significantly higher mood disturbances in females that participated in sleep fragmented studies. Although they noted that these findings should be interpreted with caution since other emotional outcomes effects such as anxiety seem to have a great impact on males. To get a better sense of what implications the research may have for women in the real world, I asked Palmer for clarification on what their analysis actually revealed about sleep loss and its effects on women in particular. Okay, she explained that for both men and women, sleep loss significantly reduced positive emotions. Increased anxiety and blunted the intensity of their emotional experiences. However, she noted that prior work suggests that women are more likely to experience sleep disturbances. These findings are especially important for women who struggle with insufficient sleep due to insomnia, schedule constraints, health conditions or other factors. When asked if she had any data for an opinion based on that data that might explain why females, at least in some studies, seem more vulnerable to the emotional effects of sleep loss, Palmer pointed out that previous research suggests that females may be more sensitive to the neurobehavioral effects of sleep loss. For example, she said that in teen studies, researchers have found that poor sleep affects next day emotional experiences, more so in females than males. She also noted data from adult studies that suggest that the effects of sleep loss may accumulate more quickly and recovery sleep may be as restorative for females in comparison to males, which she added may explain the sex differences in her analysis.
Why is it the women always get the short end of the stick?
Not always. It varies in different types of studies. Yeah. Don't bring sexism into it now.
I'm not. I'm just saying.
It's like why women like handbags.
Why are we back on handbags?
This is going to be a handbag topic.
Yeah,
however, she was careful to point out, our findings suggest that there is a lot we still don't know why this is the case. Future work will need to examine how women might be more or less vulnerable to emotional effects of sleep loss during times of hormonal fluctuations. There you go. So you're shedding some light on hormonal fluctuations. Puberty, exactly, menopause, different stages of the menstrual cycle or during life transitions such as pregnancy, postpartum periods. While the jury is still out on whether, how or why women may be more affected by sleep loss than men, considerable data supported by this newest analysis show that even a small amount of sleep loss can negatively impact women's physical and emotional well-being. This makes prioritising and protecting women's sleep just as important as a healthy diet and exercise in maintaining and in some cases improving their physical and mental health and well-being. So what are some of the ways you can help make sleep an important part of your daily routine? In the same way that there are strategies you can use to be more productive during your waking hours, there are strategies you can employ to get most out of the time you devote to sleep. Number one, Make your bedroom a sleep-only zone. Avoid work, phone calls, television viewing, and computer use in your bedroom. You have that. So that's you.
No, that's my life. That's my life over.
The only thing's missing there is the dogs.
That's my life over. What do you mean?
Okay. So anyway, then you can refer to this again yourself in your own time. Make your bedroom a sleep-friendly zone. Darkness enhances sleep. Light interferes with it. So darken your room as much as possible. And so you can bring, some people who are dark. Bring them in. Have them sleep in your room. Turn off.
You're not available.
Not tonight, anyway. Sorry. I'm in someone else's room. Turn off everything that makes noise. That's the dogs. Can you turn them off? Especially your phone. If noise can't be avoided, use earplugs or turn on white noise. Okay. It's nice, but it's white noise. Okay, it's beneficial noise. Make your mind a sleep-friendly zone. A busy mind is a sleep inhibitor. If you have trouble shutting down your brain, use simple relaxation techniques to calm your mind. Breathe slowly and deeply as you try to fall asleep. Okay, so make some of those phone calls you normally make at night. So you breathe slowly and deeply.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. The ones you get paid for.
I don't
those
do
calls
that.
you get paid for.
I don't do that anymore.
Okay, then you
I
give it up.
really don't.
Okay, not paying someone anymore, is it?
No, I don't.
Yeah. Sorry, folks, but that's the other sideline job of Indira.
It's very paying, more so than music.
Paying or pain. Concentrate on relaxing one muscle at a time. Mentally take yourself to a quiet, restful, relaxing place in your mind, or repeat a short, peaceful mantra until you fall asleep. No, I hate those mantras, but anyway, it works for some people, not for me. Stick to a routine. Pick a time to wake up every morning and a time to go to bed every night, and stick to this routine as closely as possible. Waking up and going to sleep at different times on different days throws off your natural sleep pattern and rhythms. Avoid sleep interrupters. Again, those dogs.
I'll be back on my dogs. Can you leave them alone?
Those flea-ridden stink bags. Certain foods, drinks and activities are known to interfere with sleep and should therefore be avoided before bedtime. For example, although alcohol may help you fall asleep faster, it interferes with sleep later in the night. So avoid it before bedtime.
Avoid it all the more because it doesn't work for some people on antidepressants as well.
Well, people who drink usually go to the bar. They're not even thinking about sleep. Because caffeine stays in our system a long time after its intake, stop consuming caffeinated products by early afternoon so that can be out of your system by bedtime. If you know your system is bothered by certain types of food, example, spicy or fatty foods tend to give you indigestion, just before bedtime would not be best time to enjoy these kinds of meals. Finally, though, although physical activity can help you get a better night's sleep, it is often opposite effect if you exercise right before bedtime. Okay, so stop going on the treadmill at 12 o'clock, Indira, yeah?
No, listen, honestly, I'm telling you, I have to stop exercise by 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the evening, otherwise I won't sleep. I'll be buzzing.
Definitely by 12. Yeah, you know that. You've obviously experienced it. Mm-hmm. That's true. Because exercise stimulates your body, it should be avoided several hours before bedtime. Although incorporating all 5 of these strategies would be a definite home run for improving sleep quality and quantity, even including 1 or 2 will lightly improve sleep, reduce fatigue and boost mood. There we have it. That's an excellent article.
Oh, I love that one.
That's a really good article. And I have to say 100%, I can verify, I can stand by everything written on this.
Yeah, that's a good one. Definitely a good one. And funnily enough, my article's also about it. If I can open it, there you go. Want to get some more deep sleep? A new study listening to relaxing words could help. Ooh, yeah. So let's have a look at this
like
then.
This. We're on the same wavelength.
Yeah. We all know being read to is super relaxing. It's why parents read bedtime stories to their children and why it's so easy to nod off when you're listening to audiobook on the train. But according to new studies, listening to a relaxing story or podcast in bed not only has the power to help you switch off, but it could help you get a deeper night's sleep. Oh my God, I'm falling asleep just reading this. It's lovely.
Sorry, how do you say something?
The study published in the Journal of Sleep Research, I didn't know there was such a thing, builds on a previous evidence that found playing relaxing words during the early stages of sleep helps to increase the amount of time someone spends in deep sleep. In the more recent study, the researchers set out to discover how simple practice improve deep sleep by observing heartbeat activity. So don't go saying, oh, oh, you are so lovely, you're so sweet, instead of stimulating your partner, you probably put them to sleep.
Depending on the partner, it might be a good thing, right?
Using on ECG tests, so here we go. The study authors found that time between heartbeats and longer when sleeping person was played relaxing words. I'm telling you, this is not good for your sex life, as opposed to the set of control words. Yeah, but I have vague memory of it. Those deemed to be neither relaxing nor stimulating, if wasn't just sound of the words, but the effectiveness of the researchers played the relaxing words in reverse. The amount of time between heartbeats was smaller than when they played it forwards. I don't get that. A sign, the researchers say, that the embodied processing of the words directly leads to their positive impact. Ultimately, this shows that how aware our bodies are of the world around us as we sleep, and how ambient noise in the around bedrooms can impact sleep quality. Make sure your walls are thick. But listening to a bedtime story can also be beneficial even before you've nodded off. That is quite nice, because I do like stuff like that.
That's why babies sleep with lullaby. That's why they're lullabies.
Yeah.
Same. So obviously it's the same.
Mind you, talking lullabies, when you talk about when the wind blows, the cradle will rock. When the bough breaks, the cradle will fall, down will come baby, cradle and all.
You had to put a negative spin in it, didn't you?
Oh, but come on. What baby wants to know they're going to fall off the tree and everything? That's nasty,
you had to bring the mood down, didn't you? You had to blow the house down, huh? 7 little piggies and all that.
3 little piggies.
3 little piggies?
Yeah.
No, they've evolved. They're 7 now. Because the 3 little piggies couldn't do it on their own, so they incorporated. They recruited 4 more piggies.
Blow the house down and get a new construction digger or whatever. The benefits of listening to soothing bedtime stories and podcasts, that's our podcast, by the way, for sleep are multifaceted and deeply rooted in both psychological and physiological principles, explains Matt Christian, resident sleep expert at Panda London.
Wow.
Oh. As you wind down for the night, the body's physiological process gradually shifts towards the state of rest, listening to soothing narratives and podcasts and a catalyst for relaxation and triggering the parasympathetic.
Come on, Indiraa.
Nervous system.
It's great, isn't it? It's great.
Parasympathetic nervous system.
She got it.
By engaging with calming content such as gentle storytelling. I could tell stories very gently. I watch the Crime Channel all the time.
Different type of stories. Huh?
Exactly. They're very good, actually. They always end well. The cops get the bad guys. Ambient sounds, individuals effectively lower the heart rate, reduce the muscle tension, and regulate breathing patterns, and essentially components for entering a state of slumber. There you go. Listening to these kinds of relaxing sounds particularly beneficial in a struggle to overactive mind. We also have those nights where your mind starts racing as soon as you put your head down on the pillow and you're giving yourself something to focus on, or may be counterintuitive. So it's a good guide for your brain to follow. Through auditory stimulation, bedtime stories diverts the attention of your mind away from conditions, providing the focal point that encourages mental tranquility. So make sure it's a kind of tranquil thing you're listening to. The narrative...
Well, I think that's the message, isn't it?
Yeah. The narrative structure of stories fosters a sense of continuum, and it's the same thing. Psychological standpoint of engaging with familiar, comforting narratives triggers a cascade of positive emotions, evoking feelings of safety, security, and contentment. It's all conducive, obviously, to a good night's sleep. So while white noise, here we go again with you, is a great blocking out disruptive sounds and providing soothing background.
Isn't it a bit racist, white noise?
I know, but they always do that.
Okay.
It's like black magic, and being myself of non-white color, it is a bit. You always wonder about these things, but never mind. For the drift off, listening to bedtime stories in a podcast. So listen to this podcast last thing at night, everybody. It comes to improving your sleep altogether, relaxing, non-threatening programs.
See, I told you,
like
folks, she does this other job at night.
Forecast, also incredibly
onwards.
soothing.
People pay for this, so you're getting it for free.
Yeah, exactly. Ultimately, if you want to ensure your body and mind are safe and relaxed as possible, what better way to do this than tuning into a calming fairy tale and a soothing adventure in the great outdoors?
Wow. I think that's exactly it. That's essentially what we're talking about here. It's the tone of voice as well, isn't it? Very much so.
Yeah, putting me to sleep.
Yeah, that's good. You can do it yourself. You can play it back on your own podcast at night.
Yeah. So there you go, people. If you want a good night's sleep, just call in and I'll say good night.
And with your credit card details, yeah. It's not always going to be free, folks. Well, that was very interesting. Now I have to admit something. Based on what you just read there, I read maybe this article or a similar article about 2 or 3 weeks ago. Mm-hmm. It could well be the same article. And I've been listening to relaxing podcasts at night for that particular reason. And I have to say, fantastic. It's helped me get deeper sleep, quicker sleep, and sleep for longer. And I can share with you which one I'm listening to on Spotify. It's called Sleepy Stories. It's a podcast.
Okay, I must do that.
It's very, very soothing. It's very, very soothing. And I will share that link on the show notes for everyone to find that. This is one. There's many there, but this is really good and it's fantastic. They release them every week, and I have to say, just to tag along with this research, it does work. It does work. It's very effective. It's very soothing, and give it a try. Nothing to lose. And I'll include the link. So yes, Indiraa, I recommend that to you to try that.
Yeah, I would do. I think I honestly do think watching the news last thing at night and the crime channels at night does seem to be a bit of a negative thing in my life at the moment. So maybe I should.
Well, yeah, exactly. I mean, there's no good news, so you're looking at something that's quite negative, listening to something that's quite negative. It's negativity. You're trying to get to sleep with negative things in your head. News generally is not good at the moment.
I've got a theory. News stands for never ever watch shit.
Wow, never ever
watch
shit.
Yeah, news.
Yeah, makes perfect sense to me.
And me.
Yeah, so don't watch it. Don't listen to it. Try that podcast I recommended to you.
Yeah, I think I will.
I found it very beneficial. I really have.
And switch off your phones. Talking of which, I've switched mine off, but my husband's not giving up. He keeps
calling you.
Yeah, I've heard it buzzing all over the place, but I'm ignoring it.
Good for you, because you are in control.
I am in control.
You are. Of everything.
At night, I'm in control of the remote control.
Oh,
yep. I never let go of it.
Oh, that reminds me. Our next show, we're going to have to do a little bit of aliens. Ufology.
I love ufology.
Yeah, that's our next show now. We're going to talk about to bring back our green friends into our topic.
Why are they green? Because they're Irish.
Yeah, of course they are.
Oh, yeah. Okay. All aliens are Irish. They're alien to me, that's for sure.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. Well, look, I mean, we've got fairies, why not? So why not have fairies, leprechauns and aliens? I mean, there can be the trilogy of nostalgic creatures. Yeah, exactly. And they all like Guinness, let's be honest about it.
Really?
Of course. Have you ever seen the aliens drinking Guinness?
No.
No?
No.
What? Are you telling me you've never seen aliens drinking Guinness?
No, I've seen people dream of aliens when they've been drinking Guinness.
There you go. That's it. And you also see the stars. So there you go.
Yeah, that's true.
Speaking of stars and all of that sort of thing, just one thing before I close this up today. So Saturday night, I was walking down the high street of Bournemouth. It was about 10 o'clock. And this beautiful, brand new black Ferrari just passed me by. Not driving too quick, but it sounded amazing. It was 73 plate. It was obviously a new car, and just glided past me on the road. Went down a little bit further, and as I walked down further, the car was then pulled in outside Santander Bank on the high street. Car was just pulled in. It was engine was still running. It was purring away. I thought, "Ooh, what a beautiful looking car!"
And he robbed the bank?
No, he was at the bank account. He was there outside the Santander, and he was at the we take the cash from.
Yeah, cash point. Yeah.
Cash point, and there was a load of kids around him on bikes, and I thought, no, they're going to rob him. They see the Ferrari just sitting there, and they surrounded him. And then this guy just turns around with his head down, starts walking towards his car, handing out £20 notes to all the kids that were there around him.
Who was he?
I don't know. He had his head down. He kept it very discreet. He kept his head down for a reason. He's obviously some celebrity, a footballer, somebody anyway. And he just gave them all 20 kids. They're all very excited, of course. And I was walking very fast towards him. And I did, but he never gave me £20.
Oh, that's because you didn't put your cute voice on.
Yeah, I know. So if you are that person who was there last night,
can you contact me? I'll read your bedtime story.
Yeah, and for not giving me £20, there has to be interest on that, if you don't mind.
Yeah, he's very interested.
I'm very interested.
in our podcast, if nothing else.
Well, so that's it. That was my story for today.
Yeah, now I have to get my nails done with my hair.
Okay, off you go, Indiraa.
All right then.
Well, folks, on that note, that's where we're going to leave it for today. Hope you've enjoyed the show as much as we have, and we look forward to bringing you more of the latest news and hot topics surrounding mental health on our next show. Remember, new episodes of the Mad Podcast drop every Sunday at 6 p.m. Episodes are available to listen to on Spotify, Apple Music, and of course, the Musicians Against Depression website, an online toolbox that contains a wealth of information, essential reading, and links relating to mental health. As always, if you or someone you know would like to join the conversation, either in studio or remotely, email us at musiciansagainstdepression@gmail.com or visit the MAD website at www.musiciansagainstdepression.uk for further info. All links, including social media, are provided in the show notes. And remember, no problem in life is insurmountable, and help is just a conversation away. Until the next time, from myself and the wonderful Indiraa,
Take care.